Welcome to Jackson, a lively mountain town that attracts millions of tourists a year. They come from around the world to take in the natural beauty and engage in outdoor activities of all kinds. Hiking, fishing, rafting, camping. If you can do it outside, you can probably do it here in Jackson. However, we've come here with only one thing on our agenda: to experience great mountain golf. This trip takes you on two very different golf experiences. First, a public track where $70 gets you 18 holes, a cart, and 2 drinks. Followed by a completely private mountain sporting club directly on the river. These two places are so different, but they have one thing in common. They are both a fantastic way to spend the day on a golf course. We're going to show you why, and we're going to give you our golf experience. In this episode, we are at Teton Reserve, a public golf course in Victor, Idaho, at the base of the Grand Teton Mountain itself. We actually had to go over the mountain to get there from Jackson. But before we get into the round, we're going to review the golf course and the experience we had along the way. I've broken down a great golf experience into these 3 factors. And for me, they are conditions, design, and atmosphere. Now, there's a perfect combination of these that create our all-time favorites, but we feel like there's pretty much an unlimited number of ways for these factors to come together to have a great time on the golf course. So let's start from the top with conditions. Teton Reserve is a public golf course, and we'd had rain all week leading up to the round. Regardless of that, conditions were really a pleasant surprise. We met some people in town at the bar who weren't too fond of this place, but boy were they wrong. Tee boxes were great, fairways were pure, and the biggest surprise was the greens. We all thought they looked slow when we got there, but they were not slow at all. They rolled great. I don't remember anybody claiming bad roll when they missed a putt. The rough was thick, but really not too much of a hazard. But if you missed the Kentucky bluegrass entirely, you were going to be searching through a native area, which was fescue, rocks, not a great spot to be. The only part of the conditions worth groaning about were the bunkers. Half were great, and half were sheetrock. But as one of my favorite PGA professionals likes to tell me, hey, the bunkers are bad, just don't hit it in the bunkers. Advice I tried to follow all day. On to design. For me, a great layout can balance out any problems a golf course may have in other areas. Hale Irwin was calling the shots when this piece of farmland was converted into a golf course. After the round, Chris tells us that this was actually the first golf course that was designed to be played forwards and backwards. You can play it in reverse, which I couldn't tell at all playing it, but you can see it from above, clear as day. Take a look. Here we have 18, which as played is a dogleg left, but the bunkers down here are placed to play it as a dogleg right. And then 17 to 16 is a par 3, 16 green back to 15, and so on, all the way around. Now, unfortunately, they decided the way we played it was better, so they moved some tee boxes around and only play it forwards now. We had elevated greens with undulations to match. It feels like they wanted to offset the flat terrain you find everywhere else. The place is the right kind of laid back. We started our day, shirts tucked in, but didn't bother tucking them back in once they came loose. We all got a few drinks from the all-in-one clubhouse, golf shop, cart barn, which is a pretty cool building. It's a great place to let loose, talk a little shit, get a little loud without bothering anybody around you.
Oh, and he made it! Oh, and he made it!
And of course, the atmosphere includes the scene around you. And what a scene it was. You had to add stare at the mountains to your pre-shot and post-shot routines. And overall, this is just a familiar spot to toss back some drinks, hang out with friends, and make a few birdies along the way. And it's got a great spot to hang out and sort out the bets after the round. That is the golf course, so let's get into the round.
Today we were hosted and joined by Chris Dick, a friend of mine from Jackson Hole. Now, one of Chris's favorite games and the game that we played today is called Saddam. It's a version of Wolf where pretty much everybody takes turns on playing against everybody else in the group, and things can get real dicey.
And then on first hole, Parker's Saddam, so he's the solo man. And we add up our total with 4 scores, and he multiplies his total by 4. Yep. Here's the tour guide leading everyone where they're not supposed to go.
Want to give a small precursor to the round and just tell everybody that's watching that myself, Parker, Trey, and Fitz had all the last 2 days been playing in the Jacksonville member guest, and so today we were a touch hungover, so give us a little bit of the break early in this round. With that being said, Parker does stuff a little wedge in here on number 1 and wins a couple of dots, so he started off the game hot, especially as he was Saddam, or as we end up calling it, the terrorist.
I think it's 6. Because anything that's over that trap, it'll either just stay in the bowl and be fine, or it'll get a little kick forward from the front of the bowl.
Trey, being the terrorist, hits an absolute peach of a long iron into the par 5. As you can see in the next few holes, being Saddam was definitely an advantage early on in the round.
Come on, fellas.
As Trey alluded to, none of the boys were really firing on all cylinders as we all missed the green on a 135-yard par 3.
Okay. Oh, I got a couple dots. Just a few.
Say what you will about Teton Reserve, but they've got some very, very stout par 3s. This is one of 2 par 3s that was over 230 yards from the back tee.
God, why do I?
I just heard a door opening.
Is that what that creaking was?
I think that's.
There's your shitter.
As you can see, the wind really started to pick up here on number 7, and it didn't stop until we got done on 18.
Such a shit shot. No, he did not. No, he did not.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the worst working golf. You're still away.
Those putts there from Fitzy and Trey were absolute daggers. Those hurt my bank account.
Roast.
Oh, no. Oh, you. Oh, wow. I didn't even see that, too. Oh, I double crossed. Be right. Like literally the direction. Double crossed.
No bueno.
Number 12 is an awesome hole, drivable for the long hitters if you have it downwind. Both Chris and Trey gave it a go. Fitz and I both made birdie by laying up, and Chris made a heroic flop shot birdie from back left side of the green to win just a couple dots. Could have been very catastrophic for the boys.
12, 2, 14. So I got 8 there.
Really good. As you keep fucking. There's a wolf.
Are you gonna sound like fucking negativity?
Big Pop called a shot, told everybody he's going to hit it to 2 feet, and damn sure he did.
Pretty good from the gold tees, Crow.
I made him look.
Good ball. I was like, wait a second.
Oh, and he made it! Oh, and he made it!
No.
He made it!
Where'd it ended up?
Wind's fun. Good putt, Jackson Hole member guest.
That's right, he won it. He did make a 42-20 on the longest putt.
As Saddam on this par 3, I was definitely rooting for a couple 3 putts. Not gonna lie.
Oh, you whore. You dirty
That was
leg.
saucy.
We gotta make you dirty leg.
Down the middle, baby.
Unfortunately for Fitzy, that was his second off the tee and his second consecutive quack hook into the trees. Thank God he found it. And he was Saddam. It ended up being quite an expensive hole for Fitz, even with Chris's piece of shit wedge.
No more than 3 for the last 3 holes. 'Cause that, I mean, that gets filthy. Like if we just had that swing there, that was 18 to 28. So that would have been 120 bucks.
In the game Saddam, the person who's in last place or is down the most money is given the opportunity to be Saddam the last 3 holes, and he gets to pick the dollar value. As you could hear in Chris's comments, it can get really, really expensive if somebody ups the dot value too much. Fortunately for us, Fitzy kept it reasonable.
Who farted?
Oh, that's so pretty. Then what was it?
Oh, baby.
Holy shit.
Good. Hey, Stan.
The babe.
Not a first.
No. Sorry, first. That's really cool.
Right here.
One over.
And with those putts, Parker was our big winner. Just wanted to thank Chris Dick and everybody at Teton Reserve for allowing us to come out and have a few beers and have an awesome afternoon. Appreciate it, guys.
Figured out what you said.
say.
Cheers, boys.
Alright, so last hole, Trey was lookout 5, right?